Well, boys, I did it. I got the deal I wanted. Got a good deal for me, and I bought the 2023 Harley Pan America S. So let's talk about it. I had to get rid of had to trade the lowrider in. There was no way for me to keep both. So this is the Harley Davidson that I have for the time being. It makes me a little sad, not that this bike is not the best and that I think this is like the bike for me, but just when I think Harley Davidson, I'm always going to think, you know, Evo Sporty. I'm always going to think lowrider. I'm always going to think Road Glide. But I feel like I can get one of those back easier than I can get this. So the decision was made. Anyway, let's talk about it. Under 4,000 RPMs, this thing is extremely well managed. The RevMax obviously makes power way differently than the typical V-twin Harley motor, but under 4,000 RPM, it's still no slouch. It's not the torque monster that you're gonna have with, you know, a typical M8 or an Evo or whatever. However, it's still plenty torquey. It's still really quick. It's still got plenty of torque. I'm in 6th gear right now, just putting like I normally would, and it tugs you along fine. If you give it gas, you know, it's ready to go even in 6th gear. But yeah, I love this motor. I love the ergonomics on this bike. It's just, I think when I took a brief hiatus from motorcycles, there was a couple years I couldn't ride, and I had older bikes, and the first bike back was an adventure bike, because I'd never had one. I thought they were kind of cool, and I think that's where it's at for me now. Random chicken in the road. I really like the adventure bikes now, and if I'm going to have one, I feel like this is the one for me. I have BMW cars. I like the BMW brand. I've never ridden a BMW bike, so I can't really say the GS series. I can't compare this to something I've never ridden. But as far as my other two adventure bikes, this feels like a really big version of those. I love the Himalayan. I love the little RX-4. But after riding this and having the power available that I would like to have on those two bikes, and this just feels bigger and bulkier, and not bulkier even, just more comfortable, more nimble, especially for 2-up. I mainly bought this to sport tour on. I'm not huge into the off-road. There's if I'm going to do that, I'll probably get a dirt bike on the off-road stuff, but like I mainly bought this for me and my girlfriend to hop on and take off, you know, on a day trip, and it does that so well. We've ordered the panniers. The dealership didn't have them immediately in stock, so I've ordered those. The only thing, it feels like, you know, under 4,000, it's very civil. Over that, it's a hooligan bike. It feels like a big supermoto. It feels like a big, fancy, pissed off dirt bike over that, and I love that. I can do probably any kind of riding that I would like to do, whether that's you know, pissed off teenager riding, or I can you know, be a good middle-aged man that I am riding on my Pan Am. The Brembo brakes are great. Stops amazing. I don't have any complaints other than like I said in the last video, when I test rode it, the pegs felt a little close to me. They just felt like my legs were kind of narrow, but I mean, that's the point. Your knees are supposed to be hugging the bike, or you know, you need that base to stand up on. I get it. So I think it's just some getting used to. The grips aren't as big around as I would like. I wish the heated grips were a little girthier, if you know what I'm talking about. Wish the grips were a little bigger, but the heated grips are super hot. Of course, it's 90 degrees, 85 anyway right now, so I don't need those. The other thing that makes me feel kind of bougie is the turn lights at night when you're going around a curve, and it's got the little extra lamps that come on and make the curve a little brighter for you. I don't know if I knew it had that previously, and I felt like pretty bougie when I saw those kick on. But no, the heated grips are great. I like the ride height adjusting when you stop. Makes it very easy to flat foot. I'm 6'1". I used to be 6'2", and I'm doing the old man shrink already. My back's compressing, but I'm about 6'1". Most of that's torso, so I've only got a 32-inch inseam. So I've got the seat in the low position currently. It has two positions. I've got it in the lower position. Very easy to flat foot, super comfortable seat. I love this seat. I feel like I could just ride all day. And I've already just got this bike a couple days ago, and I've already put 300 miles on it, just pissing about. So now I'm pretty much in love. This was the right bike for me. This was the right decision as far as what I like. I do miss the lowrider, and I will one day again have a traditional V-twin Harley of some nature, even if it's just a sporty, so that I can have a quote-unquote real Harley. But this thing is in a league of its own. It's a whole different monster. It's a whole different animal. It's different than any Harley Davidson I have ever been on. And I gotta say, that's not a bad thing for me. It feels more, I don't know. It just feels more like a motorcycle that I'm used to. I grew up on, of course, the old 4-cylinder Japanese bikes from the 80s, and I mean, the turn signals are normal. Of course, that's to make room for all the controls and the cruise control. I've never had a bike with cruise control, so that's been helpful, especially if your hand starts cramping just a little bit. It's super nice to just be able to smack the cruise control on for a minute and kind of get the feeling back in your hand. I'm going up the hill right now. I'm in 6th, again, just farting around, and it's still plenty of torque. I found that 6th gear feels a little overkill under 60 though, which that's the point of it, I guess. But yeah, guys, I did it. I don't regret it, but I do harbor some sadness because I really did love the Lowrider S, and I may make that a goal to get back into one of those eventually. I appreciate everybody that takes a minute to watch my channel. Never thought I'd be making motorcycle vlogs, and I'm not a big channel. I'm not monetized. I just do this for fun, but this is almost like a weird therapy session for me, especially where I don't have many motorcycle friends. I feel like I can at least talk to you guys, and that feels like I'm part of the community, even though I'm really not very much a part of any motorcycle community. But thank you for watching. Just a quick video to let you know that I did the thing I said I wasn't going to do. But they made me an offer I couldn't refuse, and here we are. But I appreciate you guys watching, and please stay tuned for the next one.